Good morning, exchangers, and welcome back for week 9. Let's do a quick check-in on what we have finished up, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be working on from my end. So last Thursday, you guys completed all 10 of your source evaluations. I went in over the weekend and checked off like the number that you've completed. So if you check the gradebook, you'll see what I see. And if you've completed all 10, I'm going to start evaluating those now for quality right away. I'm going to begin with you guys first, and you'll earn out of 20 by the end of this week. If you're still finishing those up, you've got some time while I work on those students who have completed all 10. So, a couple days to kind of finish up the last 2 or so. And please keep me updated if you guys have any outside circumstances that are preventing you from meeting that timeline. Also on Sunday, you posted 2 reviews, so you should have 8 total now. What I'm going to do after I make this recording and go about the rest of Monday is get in there and check those off to give you guys credit for all 8. If you need, once again, just a couple more days, that's totally fine. You might just need to email me to keep me posted about that. Otherwise, I won't know to give you credit for them. And here's why a couple more days is fine and still works with our timeline. Because everyone is still revising and polishing their articles. So even if you're posting some reviews today, maybe you're missing again 1 or 2 of them, it's still useful to your peers to hear what you have to say. In fact, that's some of the feedback that I get most often when I work with exchangers, but also from you guys this quarter, is how interesting and thought-provoking, helpful it is to hear from your peers about different elements of your article as you're developing it. So the last thing that you have due is actually just your final expansion check-in. That is due tomorrow night, check-in number 4. And then you've really done the whole process. Your source evals are in, you've given each other all your reviews, you've checked in, you've grown your article hopefully to 3,000 words, 10 sources, you've accessed all the resources to support you in doing that. And now you have some extra time to really, cleanse your palette and get fresh eyes on your article for final revisions and edits before we go to publishing. So let me just recap and put this in your update below. That expansion number 4 is the only thing due this week, tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Since that is already your only deadline this week, let's just say that any of those other lingering things I mentioned really should be done by Tuesday night as well. That way we just get, a really clean slate going into Wednesday morning. For Wednesday morning, I need just a little bit of time to prep this for you. I will create a kind of a guide, rubric, whatever you want to call it, to support your guys' revision. But I want to have a little bit of time before I put that out there because I want to be able to review what you wrote in the expansion check-ins, kind of just see where the whole team is at before I give you those final supports from Wednesday through Sunday to finish out this week. And once I give that to you guys on Wednesday, you'll kind of just be working independently to polish things, to finish and tidy and double check and self-review. You could work with a tutor. You could take 2 days off and look at it again on Friday and see if having a break maybe gives you perspective for those final things that you want to get in order. And next week will be devoted to typically I would host a write-in with my peers. I don't think I'll be able to do that this next week with some of the things popping up on my calendar. But what I'm going to try to do and share with you guys next Monday's update are some hours each day when I'll be able to be open for Zoom. So then you could pop in. You've already done your self-review, your self-reflection, your chance to tidy and get your ducks in a row and write down any questions you have. Next week, you could pop in and get some supported help from me Maybe I can do some in-person ones as well, maybe in the Learning Commons. So if you guys have thoughts about that, you could leave a comment below, or you could send me an email and weigh in on what your preference would be for the kind of support that you need to just finish out the quarter. Because not this week, but the Sunday after is when you will be submitting for final review your polished, expanded article for grading and your note of resignation, resigning from Exchangers magazine. So it might seem like a somewhat light week or weeks in terms of deadlines and what's due, but for those of you who still have catching up to do, it's an extension of grace. And for those of you who are right on task, you earned it. You earned this room in your writing and your research process to be able to have a built-in chance to like not just rush it into the finish line, but to like be done, like I said, step back and have those fresh eyes. That's one of the things that I really want to be built into the process, because then I think you're more likely to accomplish that goal that we talked about at the very start of you feeling proud of the work that you did and surprised by what you were able to accomplish. For most of my college experience early on, I was always just like finishing my essays or my writing right before it was due. I never really gave myself the timeline to be able to do that and then still be able to come back to it and work a little bit more. And so I always felt like in hindsight, I didn't really achieve what I was fully capable of because I hadn't given my mind the opportunity to. And so that is what I want you guys to be able to experience in this last bit of time before we submit our articles. And if you have any questions, send me an email, comment below. Like I said, I can't wait to see what this last stage produces for you guys, and I'm really pleased with what I was able to review over the last week and a half. Leaving comments in your articles, check for those in the margins of Google Docs. You guys have written some really awesome stuff, and have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.